Hello, hello, hello. Hello out there. Hello, House of Oz. Good to see you over there in Australia. Thank you for dropping by. Always good to see you. And everyone else out there who's chosen to join us here in my kitchen. Pull up a chair, pull up a drink, get comfortable while we work out what's for dinner tonight. Hope everyone's doing okay. I nearly didn't do this. I was feeling like 1% not great, but I'm all right. And I've got to have dinner now regardless, so either I just cook something or we carry on. So I'm giving myself permission to not be amazing today. Let's see. Anyway, sob stories aside, I hope we're all doing well. I hope we're all doing very well out there. If you joined me last week, when was that? Last Saturday, my time, we spun the wheel a bunch of times and it generated ingredients for me to make dinner. And I had a good time with that. So I thought I would do it again and see what comes up. I've made a few tweaks. I think I got rid of everything that was on the wheel last time. So we shouldn't have any repeats. So no sausage and rice this evening, as far as I know. Chinese food has arrived. Hello Link, good to see you. I know you're a long-time supporter of the channel. And the Chinese food will not wait. You make sure you have your takeaway. Get right on that. I'll still be here, you know, but we'll see what happens. Yes, so I thought we'd spin the wheel up and see what we get. We should have no repeats coming on. So let's have a look. I hope we've all had good days, or for yourself, House of Oz, your good day is starting, your weekend has begun. And we're all doing really well. I want to get down and cook. So, I'll tell you one thing I need. I need my thing to make notes on. That's what I haven't got. My big whiteboard of doom. So, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to carry on. I'm not going to, I could put you on Be Right Back where it plays the music, but I think I'm going to stay on the mic while I go and get my little whiteboard before we spin it up. So stay with me, I'm right here. I'm just going to give you a little narration as I wander off to go and get my whiteboard, which is just a couple of rooms away. So I'm just making my way through the house and stairs and round the corner. The whiteboard now. There we go. There's so many things to set up now. For gaming streamers. And it's incredibly competitive, but the one thing I do envy them for is mostly the setup is there. You know, your setup is ready to go. You can just press stream and off you go. With me, I have to drag a computer into the kitchen. Well, I have to kick everyone out of the kitchen first of all. Set up this little portable hob, set up cameras, all sorts. One and done, and including forgetting to get my whiteboard. So let's get some pens out and we will spin up a wheel, see what we get. Are you hoping I get something nice or nasty? Let's find out. First of all, let's hope this is working. No, as usual, I did this last time. I just forgot what window I was using. Weird. Did this to me last time. I don't understand. Could do with playing elevator music while I fix this, really, I guess. That's so bizarre. It did this to me last week. I've got to look into that, why it just breaks. What happens is it just forgets the browser window I've got open, just completely trashes it. Right, let's see if that's fixed it. Oh, the glamour of streaming. Yeah, there we go. But I need to put it down there so you can see my face Let me negotiate a little bit. Right, finally, let's get this going. So, starting with the protein then. So what have I got in here? Beef, salmon, pork chop. I've got chicken char on there. What I mean by that is a frozen chicken thing, which is probably not great ingredients, but I really enjoy having them. Let's see what we get anyway. Salmon, all right, okay. Try and write this nice and big. Interesting. Let's we'll remove it for now, so we've got it for next time. And we'll look at our veg. We'll spin that up. Peas. Okay. Salmon and peas, not too bad. Carbohydrate. This will make or break the dish, really. Big Spud gets potatoes. And finally, curveball. Again, if you saw this last time, I've got a whole bunch of weird ingredients that I could add to make life interesting or weird. Oh, it's got smoke. Okay. Well, there is a thing, isn't there? Let's come back to normal side. Right, Moadib, stressful day helping mum with eSIM and the mobile. I understand that pain, trust me. But yesterday I cold smoked Christmas salmon, excellent. Made Christmas cake and cold smoked garlic, cheese and bourbon. Yowza, living the dream, living the dream. How was your cold smoking process? That's interesting, because as you might have spotted, I'm not sure which part of the wheel you saw. Whoa, if we turn that on, smoke came up in my weird ingredient. Salmon, peas, potatoes and smoke. Yes, it's going to be interesting. I pop that up there as a reminder. Now I know for a fact that the salmon is in the freezer, so I'm going to have to fast defrost that under running cold water. And my smoke gadget is also in where I have the frozen stuff. So I will have to take a moment to go and collect all those things. So yeah, whilst I go and, in fact, why don't I switch to that? He's back. Yes, that's quite the ingredient list. So rather than have you have music to listen to, you can ponder for yourselves. And hey, I mean, if you've got great ideas, I'll be glad to hear them about what to do with that. But I've got some ideas already of what I'm going to do. Obviously, I already knew it was on the wheel. So if you bear with me a moment, this time I will mute you for just a second while I go and get the peas and the potatoes are inside. I can get those, no problem. But the salmon and the smoke. So give me a moment. Okay, we're back. Let's come back here. Moadib, use a Pro Smoker circular mesh device in the Kamado BBQ. Beechwood dust smoke for 12 hours. Seems faff every time I wish I did it more. Smoked salmon is so much better than shop bought. Yeah, and obviously that's kind of what we're going to do here. I'm going to end up with smoked salmon, right? But I'm not going to go, I think I'm going to go more for the lick of smoke rather than the full curing process that you do, popping it in a Kamado. Right, let's pop him up there as a reminder. So the salmon is under cold water. Protein that you've got in the freezer can be defrosted fairly quickly in cold water. I'm just going to go up to it and refresh it a couple of times. It buys me a little bit of thinking time, to be honest. Salmon, of course, didn't take very long to cook at all. So I'm not worried about that. Let's push him over there. Let's get rid of my pens. So, you know, probably be the last, I mean, the smoke will be the last thing, but the salmon will take, you know, 3 to 6 minutes to cook, depending on what mood it's in, depending on what you end up doing with it. But we've got potatoes and peas. Now, obviously, I could just boil some peas and serve some potatoes, but I suspect you guys turned up for something else other than that. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a pomme Anna, which is thinly sliced potatoes cooked in a fan arrangement. Because I think you're going to get the nice combination of crispy and soft, and I think I'm probably going to do 2 things with the peas. Maybe let's go pea puree to give me something with a bit of moisture. We're definitely going to we'll probably go easy on the salmon because there's a lot more other stuff going on there. So keep that nice and simple, probably. We haven't got there yet. Keep that simple, pan fry that at the end. But the potatoes will need to go on because they take probably the best part of 20 minutes if you're paying attention to them. It's going to take me longer because I'm yakking away. So let me get some potatoes running over here. Oh, actually, no, let's go with these. Let's go with these. And again, I'm only cooking for me. So for Moni people out there, if I touch stuff with my fingers and I don't wash them properly, it's only me that's eating it. No one else is eating this. Equally, I'm making a portion for one. So if you think, oh, he's a bit tight, well, it's only one person's food. So there. I'm going to get out a little cloth, I think, a little muslin. If you're a long-term fan of the channel, you'll have seen me make this before. Excuse me. It's really easy. It just takes a little bit of time and attention, like most of the best dishes do. Those of you out there I've not spoken to yet. Link, you've pointed out, I said that like I get told off by chat a lot for touchy food. It's preemptive, really. I'm always thinking, you know, so when I do recipe videos, you know, you touch something like, I don't know, a steak, then you go off and wash your hands. But you don't leave it in the video because that's pretty boring. And I always think, I know they used to talk about it on programs like Saturday Kitchen and shows like that, that people would ring in or text in to complain that they weren't washing their hands enough. And it's just always on my mind. So I'm just getting ahead of it and just saying, look guys, back off. Do you know what? I'm going to keep those, do something with them in a minute. Do I fancy doing knife skills this evening? Or should I use a toy? Let's use a toy. The nice dangerous mandolin. Has everybody got 999 on standby, just in case? I always press the wrong thing. I got this earlier this year. I don't love it. Again, you might have seen me use my food processor, the Kitchen Whiz Pro, before, and that's probably the best machine I've got for this sort of thing. But for just 2 potatoes, it's probably worth it. How's the Chinese link? What did you order? What's on your Chinese order? Let's go, yeah, we'll go this way. Oh, this is not very stream friendly, is it? Oh, I've got a little pusher to help that get squished down. Where is that? That's over there. Just gets tricky towards the end. Now they've come out relatively thick, so I want those a little bit more fine. Think I look a bit silly wearing the glove? I don't care. I'd rather have four fingers and a thumb. Thank you very much. Right. So these are just going to get laid out on a bit of muslin cloth. You could use kitchen roll or a clean tea towel. Link, you get the house chow mein, house fried rice, satay chicken, crispy shredded beef. Last couple of minutes. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's nice when you get a takeaway like that to get at least 2 dinners out of it. Or a dinner and a big brunch, I find. It's the best combo. I think I'm going to pay for those being a little bit thick, but we'll see. So what am I doing here? I'm just patting those all over just to dry off that surface starch. I'm just refreshing that water that the salmon is thawing in. It's already a bit starting to tenderize, thaw out on the edge. So that's a good place to start. Right, let's bring him down. And I think plop. I think we're going to go the full Marco here. And let's melt a little butter. Is that your local link? Is that the one you always go to? Are they solid? We have lost solid Chinese takeaway in our area. Had a good one, changed owners. Bit of a shadow of its former self, sadly. Very sad. So we've tried a couple of others, but they're not quite as good as the old one used to be. That's a bit of a shame. House of Oz is trying to have cornflakes for breakfast, but your son drank all the milk. Ah, parenthood. It's a good thing, isn't it? Just going to dry all these thoroughly. What pan did you use that? So I've changed my mind. I'm going to use a very antisocial pan. This pan doesn't work on this induction hob, so I'm going to do it behind me, but really it's just going to tick away, not doing very much for a long, long time. So You're not missing anything. And then later we can use this pan for the salmon. Link, your regular Chinese got shut down for 0-star hygiene. Wonderful. And what's the next bit? A couple of years past, all the new ones were rubbish. When I got a new place, it's been fantastic so far. I'm pleased for you, very pleased for you. Very jealous. So I'm just going to take the top off that butter that I've melted. This would be better if I could leave it 10 minutes, but I want to get things moving. We don't want to be here all night, do we? Just going to slightly overlap it. I'm going to keep that one for last. I think that will cover that nicely. Quick seasoning. If you don't season it at this point, it comes out very bland in the finished dish. I'm just going to do 2 layers, I think should be plenty for me. Basically, we're having fish and chips and mushy peas, aren't we? That's what we're having, guys. And it is Friday, which traditionally in the UK, it's when you have fish and chips. So that's all we're doing. We're just having fish and chips. That's all it is. Why do you clarify that butter? Well, it changes the smoke point. It makes it much more, it'll stay on the heat a lot longer without burning. That's why they do it. Right, I can now get that on. That's just going to tick away over here, as I say, for about 15-20 minutes. Not a very high heat. It feels like you want to rush it, but actually you want to keep that one just ticking away. House of Oz says, do you watch Fallow? What are your thoughts on their cooking? I would love to try their food at their restaurant. Yes, I watch Fallow. I'd be stupid not to. Looks fantastic. You may know, let's pop that on so you can see the list. Actually, there's a bunch of us food YouTubers who nearly went to Fallow for our sort of Christmas get-together, but it was just too busy, didn't quite work out. So hopefully I'll go in the new year, we'll go, a bunch of us will go and try it out. They're just unstoppable at the moment, aren't they? Everything they publish is really tasty and interesting. Looks to me like they're working with a very narrow menu in the best possible sense. There's no shade in that. I think they're trying to keep it tight. And they're just doing classics, right? Twisted classics. The whole pig's head is supposed, cod's head, isn't it? It's supposed to be a delicacy. And what's the other thing? Corn ribs. They've got a big thing for. Evening, Adam. Adam Garrett there in the chat. If you don't know or follow Adam, have a click through his link or search his name on YouTube. I think we operate at different ends of the spectrum in terms of the types of food we put out on YouTube, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to make dinner. Adam likes to do real hearty, homely stuff that anybody can do, and usually it's dirt cheap too. He published a recipe for roast potatoes very recently, which has got a little interesting seasoning in it, so I advise you to check that out. Do you see how I didn't give away the twist there, Adam? Aren't I a good guy? Adam, we're having fish and chips tonight. Let's get a little plate for that, so don't mess my counter up. Don't know if you can see at the back there, Adam. I don't know if it might be washed out or bleached out, but my wheel of randomness has popped out that we are having salmon, peas, potatoes, and it needs to incorporate smoke in it as well. I'll be interested to know what you would do with those 4 ingredients. Just making sure that's defrosting over there. House of Oz says fallow are brilliant. Interested to see when you go to fallows. I'll definitely watch that episode. I don't know if it will make YouTube, but it'll definitely make my community section, or possibly I'll put it on Instagram. It's probably not enough context there to turn it into a video, or content, to be blunt. Who knows? I'll definitely talk about it when we do. Adam, you say you made a jacket spud and curried 5-bean thing. Curried 5-bean thing? Is that like a vegetarian main you're going for? Link says the dog's looking at me like you're dirt and grumbling because he wants a prawn cracker. Better than my goose dish that had the prawn cracker, huh? Let's get another pot for that. Those of you that are at my last live stream, I noticed after I turned around and I said goodbye that I'd made cabbage trimmings and I'd left them in the pan, just completely burnt by the time I got back there. Nobody mentioned it on stream. So what am I doing here? I think I'm going to do a pea puree. Just listening to that because that's sizzling quite a lot. So the exasperated crumbling of the prawn cracker onto the goose. Well, what did Heston use? He turned the goose skin into a goose cracker, which he actually said was just like a prawn cracker. So I thought, well, why are you making me do... Well, he wasn't making me do anything. Why are you doing another process when you could just have a prawn cracker? Are you going to put cream in your potatoes? Not those, no. We're not going the Dauphinoise angle. No cream going near those. I'm going to leave those. That's pretty much all the flavourings and seasonings we're going to have on those potatoes, because, as I say, I'm going to make a little pea puree as well. Experts in chat will know I absolutely hate peeling shallots. Don't know why I do it to myself. I do it all the time. Yeah, anyway. Adam, what did you have in your jacket spud? If I've missed a question or a message, guys, just say it again. Sometimes things scroll off and I don't see them. I've only got a small window in which to view all the chat messages. It's one of those things I could do with fixing for the new year. Hang on to that for later. Adam says, use the smoke on the salmon by making like a hot box with some wood chips, pea and mint puree, maybe fondant potatoes. Not a million miles away then. Not a million miles away from what I'm going to do. I think that's nearly ready. Sounds good, Adam. Sounds good. Just weighing up what to flip that out with. Just changing my mind. Just getting some paper. I saw a question come in there. What was that? Christian, since you mentioned Heston, have you tried one of his cookies recipes from his book Heston at Home? I've done a lot out of Heston at Home, but I don't remember a cookie recipe. No, I don't remember that at all. Struggling to think now. Have you? Tell me more about them, because I just can't bring them to mind. I thought I could hear them catching slightly, but that's all right. Now let's hope we can get that back. In the tray. Keep you out of the way. Drop the pins. Just getting some rubbish off. Wonder if they're good, since baking isn't his core discipline. It's a fair shout, you know, a lot of chefs either specialise in pastry or they don't, right? And you can tell it. I've always said that about Marco and his recipes, Marco Pierre White. His pastry recipes don't feel like his. And I think they're not, according to other chefs I've spoke to. But you know, with Heston, you're going to get something that's really well researched. So I wouldn't be surprised. Can you remind me, do you know off the top of your head what the recipe's called? The shortbread for Christmas. No. My Heston books are way upstairs, and I've already abandoned you guys enough this evening. But I have made lots from it. I think it's his best, most accessible book. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that, late night hours on delivery. So what have I been doing here? This is the basis of a pea puree. I'm just got some shallot and peas in there. We're going to get a chicken stock cube, hazelnut shortbread and walnut shortbread. Really don't ring a bell. I'm going to go and review those over the weekend. Have a look. I don't remember ever making them. So not remembering the recipes, but knowing Heston, I mean, there's not a lot you can do with shortbread. The recipe is usually butter, flour and sugar. But I know he really likes brown butter or hazelnut butter. So I'm going to guess that he browns the butter before adding it to the shortbread. That sounds like the sort of thing he would love to do. So Link tells me also over there, speaking of Amazon, I've got a capture code coming tomorrow, so you can start running that new Terminator game. Link Linebeck, by the way, over on Twitch, streams some retro classics, and at the moment he's trying to speedrun the old Mega Drive or Genesis Terminator game. And it baffles me how good he is at it. But there's a new Terminator game out. I did watch a trailer of it today, and I thought, yeah, that really is Metal Slug. So, yeah, I might give it a look. I don't want to pay full price for it, but later down the line. His cookie recipe is more special, uses olive oil. Well, I wish I could say I was surprised. So this is just a stock cube, some boiling water, peas and onion. I'm just going to pop this in the microwave for like a minute. All I'm trying to do is take the edge off the onion really, so that it's not so, you know, harsh, and also so it blitzes down nicer. And flatterer, well, you know, speed running is an art. I certainly don't understand it. Not don't understand it, but you know, I just don't have the skill for it. Potatoes are there, by the way. It's going to take a little while. Let me check on my fish. That's like 80% defrosted now. So that's nearly ready. So how long have we been going? We've been streaming for 37 minutes. I've probably been doing that for 20 minutes. Adam says your flat is a building site right now. Insulation, new heating, cavity wall insulation, ventilation. Well, that sounds annoying, but the landlord's taking care of that, right? I hope. Sounds like a lot of bills otherwise. But at least it will, you know, sort out your bills for next year, won't it? Sounds like all the... Why do it in the middle of the winter? Well, it's not middle of winter. We're actually quite mild, aren't we, at the moment? Weird. That's too hot to pick up by hand. Where did I put my glove? Did I put it away? No, not quite. Adam says it's all free for you anyway. At least it's free this year. I hope you've got a good landlord. Super hot here in Australia. Well, do you know what? I think that quite literally comes with the territory, doesn't it, House of Oz? We're having a very mild winter so far in the UK. Although I've got a jumper on, I could quite happily be without it. Just trying to keep it festive, innit? So I've got a mixture of partially cooked peas. I'm now going to add a few more frozen peas, which will bring the temperature down and thicken it. Frozen peas are like one of the best ingredients to have around because they cook in like no time. Super versatile. And most of the time better than the fresh stuff. Okay, let me put this in the frame a little bit more. Oh yeah, Liberalonics, good to see you. How am I getting on? What's on the menu this evening? We've thrown up, based on random roulette wheel, salmon, peas, potatoes and smoke. Liberalonics, by the way, an excellent streamer. He says he's a variety streamer. All he does is play Souls games, Dark Souls. Currently trying to do Dark Souls 2 Deathless. I don't think he'd punish me for saying it's not going too well. Yeah, so if you had salmon, you're a handy cook as well, I know, Libra. So salmon, peas, potato, smoke. What would you do with that combination? Thank you for the Xmas jumper compliments. It's only Sainsbury's, got it yesterday. 20% off at the moment. Smoke, I wouldn't expect you to have that ingredient. I happen to own a smoke gadget for smoking food, and I threw it on there as a random thing to do. So I'd accept if you couldn't cope with that one. Cope, that's a not very nice word. If you couldn't facilitate that one. I'm going to make a load of noise from it and blend this up. You might not like, that's it. You might not like the noise, so excuse me just a second. Definitely smells like peas. Fish cakes, you can't knock a fish cake, can you? I've gone for a pom anna, which is sliced potatoes, just frying away there. My salmon is defrosting, mushy peas on the side, can't knock it. Is that a Le Croisset salt caddy? Yes, it's a Le Croisset salt pig, actually, Adam. I think this was gifted to me from Mrs. Spud quite a few years ago. I've had it a long, long time. And what salt have I got in it? Why, Maldon salt, of course, repping Essex as always. So we're going to add another handful of peas in there, I think, just to bulk that out a bit. Liberalonics, if you're still there, mate, we've got someone in chat, Link Linebeck, streams PBs and other interesting things with retro games. I'd recommend you give him a try. I think you'd really like him. Scroll back up through the messages and look for him. Link Linebeck, he's over on Twitch. Yeah, he's a good guy. More whizzing. You've had to move the bag of prawn crackers because the dog was being annoying, huh? Nice. So I can leave that. I can heat that at the end. Link Linebeck. Yes, you'll find him. Good guy. Little hit of onion in that. Like Adam suggested earlier, you could go down the mint route. That would also be really, really good. Let's check out the potatoes. How tender are we? Tender is the night. Nearly, nearly. Still a bit firm. Let's give that another flip. As I said when I cut them, I wish they were a little bit thinner. I wish I'd cut them slightly thinner. They would cook quicker and they would also stick together. We've got some lovely coloured ones on there. That is one of the hardest things I find with a pom anna, is just trying to get them all evenly coloured because they don't all have direct contact with the base of the pan. Thank you for dropping him a follow. He'll appreciate that. I think you'll like his stuff. Right, Liberalonics, what have you had for dinner? Ah, Link, you'll like Liberalonics too. He's mostly a daytime streamer. I don't know if that works for you, but if I remember right, Libra, you should be live tomorrow, trying to be deathless, right? Is Deathless DS2 tomorrow? What's Adam saying? Fennel would be nice with the salmon too. The wheel won't be calm, there'll be chicken, custard, and Stilton. Well, that's if I put custard on the wheel, isn't it? It's kind of up to me. Let's check out our salmon. Speaking of which. Yeah, fennel would be nice. I often buy it when I need it, do you know what I mean? Though we do have some in the garden. We've actually got loads in the garden because it's really pretty and it keeps its colour all year round. Caveman get into here. Shop bought cheese, tomato pizza. Mate, when are you never without a cold? You seem to always have sinus issues. Is that 1 bit or 2 bits? Oh, it is 2 bits. Just ever so slightly still frosty in the middle, so we're just going to leave that out for a second, just to finish its job. And Lib, you know, there's no shame in that. I had my Tesco delivery today, and I got their cheapest, nastiest pizza, because some lunchtimes I really fancy a pizza, but you know, a cheap one will satisfy it. Essentially posh cheese on toast. Jelly had a handful of none in the last quarter. I would say even before Lib 3, you had quite common, you seem to be all quite a lot. So we've got a few minutes right now. So our pea puree is there doing its thing. The salmon, I'm just waiting to defrost. The potatoes are still going. So I'm going to just get this little toy out because it's just going to make life easier in a minute while I've got a few minutes set up. Link, you went through a salmon phase in the summer. Let's read that properly. Salmon, jasmine rice, nice veggies, some sort of sauce, teriyaki, runny egg on there, jazz it up. You know what, that's great summer eating. Nobody else in my house likes fish, so it's a nice treat for me to have fish. Now, there was someone in chat earlier who said they smoked over beach, I think. So let's get some beach chips out. Of course, it's the last one I find. There we go. Oh, do you know what? It's the picture of control, obviously, looking here. But Liberal, you do a bit of smoking as well, don't you, on a sort of barbecue style smoker? This is just a little portable thing. I think I'm going to... A little stream decky thing has gone haywire. Let's see if I can restart him. Just make life a bit easier for me. That bit of software. Oh, you've changed IP. Well, that's really good. Thanks for doing that. Helps me out a lot. Who knows? Never mind, do it by hand. So this is a little indoor jobby. What's that you're saying there? Big on fish, happily go pescatarian, no problem. Well, if I do that, I'll be eating by myself. Just loading that up, ready to go, because that'll be like literally last minute thing I do. I'll just finish the salmon under that. So we just connect this up to here. House of Oz, if you're still there, do you do any smoking with your outside? You know, that's all connected. Get that ready. He's ready to go now, as and when I need to. Right. Let's have a check on my potatoes. Yeah, that's so much more tender now. Still a little bit longer, but then we've still got a few minutes to go. I think now I'm going to just turn the heat up a bit, just to really brown it. Got a smoke of a barbecue. I thought you might have done. Just seems a very Aussie thing to have, right? I've always thought about getting one, but I know I would never use it. Sad though that sounds. This is just a tiny bit still frozen on that side. So just a couple of minutes and that'll be all good. So we've got a little lull. So it's probably a good idea. Tidy up a little bit, get some things out of the way. Liberal says that smoking is a huge time sink. Yeah, well obviously you need to prepare your dinner like a day in advance, don't you? Sous vide is a bit like that, the vacuum process, where it can be great, but you do need to be ready. Old hands at this stream will know I spend a lot of time rustling in cupboards and things when I'm not on the screen. What have we seen there? Price of beef makes fish very appealing. Just got to shop to the offers really, haven't you? That's what I think you've got to do, and if you've got freezer space, work with that. It says you did brisket a few years back, had to get very early, 8 to 10 hours monitoring it. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a huge time sink. It's worth it, but it is a time sink. Right, you're not working, so you might as well not be here. Didn't use you in the end. Let's have a little rearrange, get the world in order. Linkmate, you go lurk away, lurk away. As you know, the stream is available as and when you need it. It's great to see you, great to see you. Best man duties involve playing Red Dead Redemption, of course they do. Well, I've lost a foot here because it's all wobbly. That's annoying. Never mind. Let's just get that nicely into the camera. Still working this little hob out. That one, but turn it down a bit. That would be my guess. I'm going to open a window, I think. So I've had a mixed bag with this. It's really good, but I don't really understand it. Just going to season this flesh side. Skin side I'm just going to pat dry. I'm going to recycle that cloth from earlier actually, rather than waste a bit of kitchen paper. We're just drying off that surface. I don't know if you can hear that. It's got a rustle now. So we'll be searing, smoking first. This sort of smoking, the flavour doesn't really last. It doesn't stick around. So the plan is sear and then just let it sit under the smoke for a minute. Never ended up using that either. Get that out of the way. That is the plan. That's looking plenty hot now. I'm actually going to knock it down again. I'm still working out the best way to use this. I think yeah, it's gone mad straight away. It's taken a while to learn this particular hob. Let's get that out of there because that's going to cause a problem. Yeah, it's mega hot. You've never had luck with these. This is a really good one. This is an induction Daewoo hob, and it is good, but I'm just not experienced with induction. I have managed sometimes to get all sorts of things coming. What really throws me off is, so I'm just playing with the settings now. What really throws me off is that it has these different functions: fry, warm, deep fry, boil, steam and soup. And then each one you can raise and lower the power as if you were turning a dial on a hob. But I never felt particularly, in older streams I used to use a gas hob here, a portable one, which works great, but I always had trouble controlling it at the lower end. There's only a tiny bit of steam coming off it now, so let's do a little bit of... That's better. That fish will also cool the pan down. Get me down a bit close where I want to be. And then we're going to be really patient now, just let it do its thing. Has anybody else, it's always a dangerous thing to talk about something that's going on and make people go away from your stream. Has anybody else been watching the horn section do their 24-hour sing-alongs thing? They've been singing the song How Long Has It Been Going On for 22 hours now. And I've been watching most of it today, and I just can't shake the music out of my head now. So it's like my background theme, my earworm that's going on. Give that one more turn over there, that'll be the last one for that. That's practically ready to serve. I just surfed on it by accident on YouTube. They've been in the Battersea Power Station shopping centre all day. They've just had to move to a studio, so they're keeping on singing. They're on a one of those Thames clippers. See if that's stuck. See, I think I've gone the other way now. I think I've cooled it off. Let's have a peep how it's doing. That's good. I'm going to give it a little more fat to play with. couple of these things I can get out of the way. It's for Stand Up to Cancer, by the way. That's why they're doing that weird sing-along. Oh, no. The potatoes come off. And we are getting really close now. Let's get a knife and fork ready. Still a tiny bit tender. Really nearly there now. I think that is seconds away from done. So I think I'm going to turn off my potatoes. I'm going to get the smoke machine going. I'll just set fire to these smoke chips here. It's now spilling the smoke into this cloche. That's enough. Just going to plug that up. Just move this out of the way. Might do another session. So I've now trapped that under that smoke cloche. It's just going to sit there, and this beech smoke is just going to infuse it with all those flavours. You can probably see all kinds of smoke going on here. Let's move that out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Another little tidy up, and we are just about ready to serve. Little pea puree. I'll come back and add more. It'll just make the plate look messy. That will have done what it needs to do. Oh, I'm just going to dot that with a few peas I let defrost. So we've got some fresh pea flavour. Bosh! Let that come out. Don't let you roll off the side. In fact, I think I'm going to angle that through the peas. I think that will look a bit more interesting. Pop you back on. And there we go, we are plated. We have, let me switch camera angles here, so you can see a little bit better. So the wheels spun up salmon, potatoes, peas, giving it a lick of smoke at the end. There. Fish and chips for a Friday night. That's what we've got. Nice. Yeah, just a little hint of smoke at the back there. Let's get some potato. Get some pea juice on it. Yeah. Do you know what? It's the shallots that make that pea puree. With shallots in there, give it a nice acidity. Very good. Wipe my face. Well, there we go, gang. Another roulette dinner in the bag. Salmon, peas, potatoes, and a hit of smoke. And yeah, we've got peas, fish and chips, and mushy peas for dinner. Could probably do that in 20 minutes total, if you're not sodding about talking to cameras and switching camera angles and things like that. Obviously, the smoke as well is a complete, you know, fussy garnish. I'm enjoying that. Very good. Thank you, mate. It's very tasty. Just got a bit of washing up to do now. That's the thing. Right, and I called time on it there. I'm going to toddle off and finish my dinner. I think in the meantime, for those of you over on Twitch, I'm going to go and find someone really cool to go and raid. Give me one sec. Let's see who's about. The excellent Chris Hangry is about. Really, really nice guy. So for those of you over on Twitch, I'd really appreciate if you could stick around and enjoy Chris Hangry's stream. He's a guy, I think he's a chef, but very, very chill stream, talks about his prep, all this sort of thing. And yeah, so let's start the raid off and see what happens. Thank you again for joining me tonight. There'll be a new video about roast turkey coming up probably over the weekend. I hope you're looking forward to that. But for now, enjoy your evenings.